Welcome, Sagittarius, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 8th of June for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share with you, first of all, the big themes of the week. On screen is your event chart as we go into the week. It always provides an important backdrop. I'll unpack that for you. I'll then go through each of the influences in detail. By the end of the video, Sagittarius, you have a clear picture of what's upcoming in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. As we go into this week's Sagittarius, there's a quarter moon. We get two a month. The sun and the moon are competing, but at 90 degrees. And it can throw up some issues, but there is also another planetary influence on Monday, which brings an opportunity. But on Tuesday, we have Jupiter, your wonderful ruler, in an exact conjunction with Venus. It did briefly happen last year, but it won't happen in Cancer for many, many years. These are the two planets of fortune. What does it mean for you personally? On Thursday, Mercury, like Jupiter and Venus in Cancer, does, however, come into a tense right angle with Saturn. What's the implication? Now, on Friday, we have one of the biggest events of the whole year, probably, in terms of the kind of overall themes. And it sees Uranus, which is now in your sector of relating, clashing with the nodal axis. It's really important, and I will go through that too. But on Saturday, possibly one of the most lovely moments of the whole year, really, sees Venus move into the part of your situation to do with travel, freedom, new experiences. Venus can be about relationships, of course, but in the ninth house can be a truth seeker, but it also can give you a lot of potential to meet and connect with some exciting people over the following month. So on the screen now, Sagittarius, is your event chart. So there's the moon on Monday in Pisces. In Pisces, very sensitive, does have the North Node alongside too. But it's going to forge a very strong link with Mars. If you're at home and you're in the mood to get a bit more ordered around your domestic situation, you can find yourself busy, but also very productive. What's not to like? Well, it's just as the moon moves forwards on Monday, it does come into a square with the position of the sun, which in the chatty Gemini is very much about relationships. If you're trying to relate to someone and they're not really getting where you're coming from a more emotional viewpoint, it could create frustration. However, there may be two people you're very fond of, perhaps quite close to, who are not quite seeing eye to eye, and you could find yourself stuck in the middle as the peacemaker. But on Tuesday, as Venus moves forward and connects with Jupiter, I really feel that that can bring some very good news around your long-term finances. It may be linked to something like an insurance claim payout. Maybe it's a legacy. It may be that a business idea you've been really working hard at can finally give you an outcome that really is very pleasing. But the eighth house can also be about intimacy and connection. There is someone that you're very close to and enjoying it, the chance to really get close and enjoy that is really enhanced. But Mercury's in that area too. But Mercury in the eighth house is very businesslike, but is challenged on Thursday by the strict Saturn in your fifth house. If you have got a creative idea and you're trying to make it work, there may be a need to really analyze the detail of it. And you may think about something that seems like it's a little bit of a roadblock, but don't let your thinking go down. It may just require a little bit of patience to overcome it. But Friday sees that Uranus T square with the south and north nodes. Why it's significant is Uranus in the seventh house, particularly if you're single, can bring so much excitement to your love life in the years to come. But equally, if you're in a relationship of any kind, that you're not quite enjoying with a family member, a boss. Uranus challenging these nodes could push you to do something provocative, which upsets the status quo. But with Venus moving into your sector of freedom, the ninth house, on Saturday, if there is a relationship you're not enjoying, Venus makes you determined to get the truth, particularly if someone's being evasive, not really answering your texts. You don't really know where you're stood. That's very frustrating. But Venus makes you very determined. But what it can do, if you are footloose and fancy three, say for example, you've always fancied uh, that long distance packing trip, sorry, then Venus moving into Leo would be fabulous to consider setting that up. But equally, um, if you're wanting to break free of a relationship that's just not working and embrace that freedom loving side of your nature, Venus can emphasize that too. I'm going to summarize those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next, Sagittarius. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. Now, three for the price of one. The one you pay for is your life roadmap report. That's really important. It helps us to understand the patterns that have gone on in our lives, but getting a more intimate understanding of them helps us to make better decisions future forwards. Three, your 12 months transit forecast, but also your draconic soul karmic analysis, which helps us to look at astrology, life, and ourselves in a very different and potentially profound way. Please see the link below for more. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it'd be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. If you've yet to watch your June monthly forecast, that's on the screen. If you'd like to watch your Chiron into Taurus 50-year return video on the screen. If you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, fire to your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, you can do so below too. So to summarize, energy. I feel that your emotional energy can be quite high this week. And if you're lucky enough to be with someone you're very close to and it's going well, I don't feel your energy will be affected by the astrology per se. If you're in a situation where you're not enjoying a close relationship or it's politics have got into it, that can be quite draining. However, what you do have later this week with Venus moving into that ninth house is an opportunity to break free of what isn't working for you. As far as your professional situation is concerned, if you do work in an environment where the people you work with are not that great to be with, I think the desire to change things can be very strong. But also, I think because your money sector is so brilliant this week, I don't feel you're easily going to turn your back on something that's quite stable, but then there's another part of you that can be tempted to do so. What can boost your energy is that Mars continues to give you a degree of extra stamina, so that's good. But as far as your romantic situation is concerned, I really do think it depends on your unique circumstances. Because, for example, if you're very close to someone and very comfortable, but then you decide at the end of the week to travel somewhere together, that vacation can really electrify the connection you already have. I think generally you're wanting to keep things on an even keel, but there is that part of you that always needs to feel you get the space you need and it also feels really authentic. So it just depends on that. But if you are footloose and fancy three, I think if you're traveling somewhere over the next month, you could well encounter someone who really makes your pulse race. It's been a pleasure being with you, Sagittarius. Have a great week, all the best, and goodbye for now.